Neil, welcome back to Heybridge Swifts. You've been here a couple of times. I was talking to Ryan earlier, and one of the things he said that sold the club to him was that air of professionalism that he didn't find at Brentwood. You would have been familiar with that, and is it still the same as it was back then, or is there more that goes on here than when you were last here?
Yeah, I have to say we've been very impressed with how pre-season's gone. There's a lot of people putting in a lot of work, and the training is geared up for us to go at the start of the season. Probably didn't feel that exactly maybe at Brentwood, but everyone has their own ideas. But no, the club's pretty much the same. They've got the people. I know the people sort of behind the club, and it's always been run very well. So
you probably haven't been into a non-league ground and seen so many advertising boards.
There are a few. Not too sure about the one I see outside with Danny Barber on there. It kind of puts me off, but no. It's very good. But it's these things need. I mean, you've got the people putting the hours in behind the club, and we need the sponsorship as well.
We didn't need to colour that one in with Barber. It was self-explanatory.
Yeah.
In terms of aspirations for the club, I mean, this time bringing you back, how did Hawksey sell it to you? Because obviously the club have been out of the Ryman Premier. This will be the 5th season of Ryman 1 North, and everywhere you go within the club, they're determined to get back.
Yes, of course. I have to be honest, the manager didn't have to sell it too much. That's how I know the club from the times I've been here previously, and how well the club did last year. They're not too far away from sort of kicking on a little bit. So I could see that with the people that's come in. I think we'll be all right next year. I think we'll do okay.
And where do you see your strengths on the pitch? Do you go out and get goals, or do you set them up more?
I try and do a little bit anything I can really. So it's a case of wherever I play, I'll try and do whatever I can for the team. But we've got a good lot of strength and depth there, so it'll be competitive for places.
If it had been a different story at Brentwood in terms of how their season had gone last season, without the weather interruptions, the changes that have gone on, there's obviously a manager change, do you think you and Ryan would have made a move away from there, or was it those changes and the disruption and the season petering out that led to people maybe thinking, I want to change?
I have to say it's a combination of a lot of things. As I'm from around that area, so it was good that it was so local, but there was a few things that kind of sort of dragged down, and we were very unfortunate last year with the fixture pile up. But there's been a lot of changes over the summer, and these things weren't sort of ironed out as quickly and as probably as sort of best as way it should have been. So it kind of led me to kind of look elsewhere, and when I got a phone call from the manager here, that was it really. The decision was made.
And you were aware that the club obviously want plans. There's plans out there for a new stadium and what have you to increase where it can go as a football club.
Of course. I think there was brief chats when I was here previously, and as much as the ground is nice, the pitch is always very good. So another stadium, it's trying to kick the club on a little bit, and hopefully we can be able to do that.
In terms of the cup draws that were made on Friday, it's all away from home unless you get a first victory in the trophy and then home to Canvey.
Yeah.
It's all either ors as well, so we don't know who we've got. But in terms of the prize money, £1,700 odd to win the FA Cup match the first time, over £2,000 to win at Uxbridge in the trophy. I mean, how important is that sort of prize money to non-league sides at this level? Not just Heybridge, but teams of this level, Ryman 1 North and Step 4.
Huge. A few teams have sort of really suffered with the fact they've gone out early. Some people budget to have an FA Cup sort of bonus. I don't think that's the right thing to do, but this prize fund is big. It's big for a team. I mean, last year we managed to do quite well in the FA Cup and the FA Trophy, and that generated a lot of money for the club. Unfortunately, that meant there was a fixture pile-up, but for non-league teams, that revenue is very key.
Do you think the goal-scoring success that this club had last season, scoring over 100 goals, which came as a shock to some players, including Robbie King, how can you score over 100 goals and not make the playoffs? Will that mean that other clubs are going to do much more homework into playing Heybridge Swifts this season, or?
I think teams might be slightly more aware, but we've got new faces now. I'm sure we have new ideas. We will learn. I'm sure the managers will learn from other sort of maybe mistakes they've made last year, where they could have done this or that, whatever. But It's a new, fresh approach. I'm sure we'll just if we do okay on the pitch, we'll be okay.
And in terms of friendlies, Colchester United, obviously the biggest club that
Yep.
the club are facing this coming Wednesday night. Everyone will want to equip themselves well against a Football League side. The result won't matter. It will just be putting out a good performance for all the spectators, away fans as well.
Yep.
But it'll be a great experience to play a Football League side, even though it's just a friendly.
Of course. I mean, we've got to try and get as much as we can out of these kind of games, and at the moment it's not a case of results, it's a case of trying to get fit, and obviously we're going to be running around quite a bit, so we've got to just try and keep our shape, and it's all about trying to put the things that we've done on the training pitch and stick them out on the pitch against someone like Colchester, where they could sort of punish you for if you're not even got the right shape. So it's just we look at it as a fitness thing, and we'll progress from it as the pre-seasons go on.
And which club do you support and why?
West Ham. I support West Ham only because of the family reasons. So yeah, I'm a suffering West Ham fan.
So are you in favour of a move to the Olympic Stadium against Upton Park?
Originally I'd say no, but you've probably got to look at the bigger picture about the amount of money it could generate. But there's all the ins and outs of the politics side that they've got. I think that would generate money, and again, it would hopefully kick West Ham on to sort of go after bigger and better players.
Okay, many thanks.
Not a problem.